Hello, hello, welcome to the show. This is HackHunter, where we review some of the best and worst tattoo artists in your cities. Now, guys, this is actually part number 3 of our Colorado Springs episode. We were getting ready to leave Colorado and check out a new city, but one of our viewers reached out and they begged us to showcase a very specific artist, and you're gonna see why in a moment. So, without further ado, enter Count 9 Gold. I can't tell you his real name, I couldn't find it, but I could tell you he's working at Hellraiser Tattoo and Piercing right there in Colorado Springs, Colorado. They did have some decent artists to speak of there. I'd encourage anybody to go check it out for themselves. You can see their Facebook, Hellraiser Tattoos and Piercings LLC. If you want to see his Instagram, though, Count9Gold on Instagram. Definitely always do your own research, guys. But before I get to it, first off, his business card was kind of weird. It said tattoo artist, arts teacher, body piercer, contractor, and readings. Not sure what all that means, but you can judge the artwork for yourself. For me, a lot of it was hard to tell even what was going on. Oh my gosh, what the heck? What even is this? I can see some teeth, so I assume it's maybe a skull, but a lot of blurriness, a lot of hair just left on the client. Obviously didn't prep the skin very well. Look at all this just kind of etchy shading, kind of scratched up line work. It's really hard to tell what was going on. A lot of his stuff was like this one, overblown, overexposed photos where you could tell he really didn't even take the time or the pride to take good photos to show his clients, and it's just gnarly looking stuff. A lot of the photos had glare in it, so it's hard for clients to really zoom in and see any good detail in there. And part of me really thinks that maybe it was kind of on purpose, because even when he took good photos, it was of work like this. And again, let me just zoom in here. Red flags galore here. Just really etchy, kind of messy line work. Not a lot of time and energy put in or effort put in to proper technique or anything. So I absolutely understand why our viewer wanted to showcase this particular artist. For me, there's a lot of really obvious red flags here, obvious errors. I mean, look how beat up the skin is there in the fold of the arm. Look at none of the line work really connects well. It's all at different depths, so some of it is blurrier, some of it's thinner. And this is the kind of stuff that I'd hope our viewers, after some time, could obviously see and point out for themselves. But I know for some of you, it's not that obvious. And so that's why I want to showcase artists like this to really just show you the major red flags. Here's a neck piece where you can see how soft and kind of scratchy the shading is. Again, looking at this line work, you see it's Gabriel is the name there, but look at the B. It's not even line work. It looks like he just kind of scratched it in with his liner because he was having a hard time on a neck. And that's really common. Necks are very difficult. You do not want an artist like this working on a really difficult area like a neck. It really needs a specialist, somebody who has their application technique down very well, and he is not that at all. Here's an attempted portrait of a puppy, and I'm not sure what he was doing with this background shading here. Just blurry, kind of put in there, random and messy. Again, the lettering is all very inconsistent. Some really thin lines and then some super thick lines here. I mean, if you're an artist and you're following a stencil, it is not that hard to get each of your letters to be the same thickness if you're doing proper technique. But obviously, he is having a hard time here. If you ask me, this is an artist that was definitely not trained. This is an artist that's just kind of trying to make easy money off clients that don't know any better. And that's why I want to showcase artists like this and warn clients about this, because this is just really as gnarly as it gets. Now, some of his better work, here is one, and again, I zoom in, you can see the snakes on her head, very simply done, and then the scales always take a lot of time and energy for any artist, and so when I see an artist come in here and just put in a really quick, easy cross-hatching pattern like this, it really shows a lot of laziness. And another very strange thing is how he did his white. If I zoom in there, can you guys see that? How those thin, scraggly lines? That means that he took his shader and just slowly drug it across the skin. And that's what creates these thin little straggle lines of white. And that will absolutely not heal. That is not how white is intended to be applied at all. There's no pupils in her eyes. That's sort of strange. But in artists like this, where there's no real artistic skill before he came into tattooing, I can tell you that that's obvious why he's doing really simple details like that. He's trying to find an easy way to tattoo it that wouldn't require a lot of a difficult application technique. Here's another one of his better pieces, but again, we zoom in and we can just see how inconsistent all those lines are. All that red there, half of it's not at the proper depth. It's just scratching the surface of the skin so that when it heals, it will not heal properly. And I'm not sure why there was this line in the photo here. I'm not sure why that came out. That's not something I put in there. It was just randomly in there. Here's probably one of his better pieces, one of the last ones I'm going to show you guys. I think you get the picture. But he posted this photo many times on his Instagram over and over again, and it looked different in every one. You can tell this is not even the real skin color that humans have. So obviously some editing going on in the photo. But I zoom in here, it's a lot of this small grit detail. Again, he just took shortcuts as quick as he could and did it as simply as he could. Strange looking little face on that Spartan there. But yeah, I would hope after watching this show over and over, a lot of you guys can already spot this sort of thing. But I like to post these kind of obvious hacks just for some of you viewers out there that are about to get a new tattoo, you don't know what you're looking for, you don't know how to judge an artist's work, you got to look out for some of these obvious red flags. And some of them being on his Instagram, he would always post this same thing: $100 for 3 hours of tattooing, or set prices for sleeves. That's just insane. I think a lot of artists would agree that's insane to just give a set price for a sleeve. That's like saying a bag of groceries costs $10. You have no idea what's in that bag of groceries. You have no idea what's in that sleeve. How could you possibly say what the price is now? And so I would always tell clients to avoid this sort of thing anytime you see a cheap flat rate like that. And then here's another one off of their Facebook page: today only $50 palm-sized tattoos. Again, they have no idea what's going into that. And so as a client, you think, oh, that's a great deal. But to them, they're thinking, we're only getting paid $50, so I'm only going to put $50 worth of my effort into it. And you don't want to limit an artist like that going into a tattoo. It's not going to turn out good. And another major red flag, they do their Friday the 13th deal. I've warned you guys about this in the past. I know some people think the Friday the 13th discount deals are good, and maybe some of you have a story to tell where it was a good tattoo, but for the majority of clients out there, this is something you want to avoid. These Friday the 13th deals where they give you a really tiny, simple tattoo and get you in, get you out, and they move on to the next one. This is something that I really don't think is a good idea for artists to rush through tattoos and to give the bare minimum just to get clients in and out the door. So something that I would personally recommend avoiding, guys. And I think it goes without saying, Count 9 Gold absolutely ends up on our hack list. Them and Hellraiser Tattoo, definitely, if you're thinking about going there, research your artist there. Make sure you're picking the artist you want if you do go there. But as for Count, I can't recommend him. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next city. Bye-bye.